The leaders at the G20 finance meeting in Seoul get down to business this evening. Tough new global financial rules are on the agenda, but the Prime Minister didn't wait for the summit to get underway to fire a salvo at Australia's banks. Julia Gillard's warning them not to use any changes to try and slug customers with new charges. Chief Political Correspondent Mark Simpkin is travelling with the Prime Minister.
Amid 2 days of talks, 2 minutes of silence. The British, Canadian and Australian leaders commemorated Remembrance Day and the 60th anniversary of the Korean War. An Australian who fought on the front lines here helped Julia Gillard pay tribute to the dead. It's the first time he's been back.
Marvellous there it is now, you wouldn't believe it.
Seoul isn't the only thing some of the veterans like the look of.
You're one of the best lookers in town. That's a fact.
He's a cheeky one.
He's after a pension right.
Currency wars are high on the agenda here. The Prime Minister called for a ceasefire, even as she took the government's fight with the banks to an international audience.
We want to better empower consumers to move away from banks when they are unhappy with their banking arrangements and believe that they are being ripped off.
ANZ's chief executive was in the audience as Julia Gillard lashed out at his decision to raise rates by more than the Reserve Bank did.
Our funding costs have increased and we have to react to that situation.
The G20 is considering tougher rules for banks, although ironically the government's lobbying for Australian institutions to be exempted.
There will be absolutely no fig leaf or no excuse for any domestic bank to blame any interest rate rises on the decisions that are taken here.
These protesters want more radical changes to the global financial system. Concerns about riots and South Korea's unpredictable northern neighbour are making officials nervous. The security is stifling. More than 50,000 police have been mobilised, the security forces are on the highest alert possible, and fighter jets are escorting the world leaders' planes as they fly into the city. Despite the lockdown, Seoul's rolled out the welcome mat, although not everything's gone to plan. This Julia Gillard doll seems more Austrian than Australian. Mark Simpkin, ABC News, Seoul.